Hey YouTube, it's Wisconsin Shoe Guy here, and today I'm going to do a worth the price review on these Barker Calvays. It's actually made by Barker for Edward and James. So this is a dark brown shell Cordovan long wing, and has you can see I've spent a little bit of time cleaning them up, and they've had a couple wears, but you can see the sole has this laser etching in it, which is the story of Barker shoes, which is really kind of cool. Something that Barker does on their Premier line, and just a very nice difference. Now, what I like about this is that the last on these is not a very round last, but at the same time, it is not a very narrow last. So it gives you plenty of room in the shoe. I'm not a fan of having the seam in the long wing like this, but that is something that I found on both these and on my Church's long wings. So I think that may be a UK thing. But you'll notice that they have a single leather sole. It is a little bit sanded down and narrowed here at the waist. The waist itself has a slight bevel and is also a bit narrow. The heel has just a ton of nail work, so they really go down all the way. And then, of course, it has this dovetail heel in there as well, which is kind of nice. Now this is made with shell Cordovan. This is from a shell Cordovan in Derbyshire. It's a tannery in Derbyshire where they actually tan the horse's skin. Now this isn't a skin; it's actually a membrane on the rump of the horse, and it usually takes about 1.5 horses worth to make one pair of shoes. Okay. Which is why it's a little bit on the pricey side. And because it's a membrane and not skin, you can see that it is absolutely flawless. This has this uniform color, this uniform texture, and this is not your carved up top grain leather that's been ruined in order to do that. Now, what's nice about shell Cordovan is that you expose it to sun, you can get a lot of fading, which I like, and I like the way that it works. This is number 15 in my collection of shell Cordovan. I'm really a fan of this medallion here, and you can see I got some lighting for the video, and unfortunately the lights come through kind of bright and show off there, but it's they do a really nice job with it, and you can see in the details that the whole shoe is pretty classic. Now this is Barker, and it is one of their top lines, but there's no fudging along the welt here. There is how they use that iron when they're doing the sole finishing, and they did use that iron here, so it has the little lip on the top and on the bottom, and it's very smooth on the side. So that's that little wheel that they use in order to do that. It is, as I said before, you've got a really narrow waist here. And they have the groove in there, but all of the stitching is deep in the groove. So as Goodyear welting goes, this is pretty darn good, right? I mean, they do a real nice job. The nail work is nice. We look at the leather heel stack here. These are pretty nice thin heel stacks as well. So just an overall beautiful shoe, made with great leather, really good craftsmanship, and a solid product. So this is my first pair of Barkers. I'm excited to have 10, 12 wears on them. From a price standpoint, these ran around, their list price is around $600, and definitely worth it. If you look at Allen Edmonds, you're looking at $700. You look at Alden's, you're looking at about $850. So definitely in line with where they would be. Your Crockett and Jones are sitting at about 1,000. Your Carminas are at about 790. So, and of course, these were on a great sale, so I did very well. So Barker, this is actually Edward and James. There are a few of these left. The store that owns the Edward and James brand is Petaware, and it's out of the Yorkshire Dales, and I think it's West Yorkshire in the UK. And great dealer. I've done business with them a few times, and this is one heck of a shoe. So if they've got your size left, definitely something to look at. Edward and James is not strictly Barker. It's important to note that they also have a couple of their shell Cordovan shoes that are made by Cheney. And I've not even started to investigate the calves. So lots of options there, lots of things that you can look at. And as is my habit, I'm trying to keep this short. So that's going to be all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know what you think. Thanks all.